and joining from the coziness of our homes. Thank you to Dan Lieber for running our Zoom tonight. We're going to get started with Hine Matov, how good it is for all of us to be here together. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. ידעי, ידעי, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. ידעי, ידעי. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. In addition to bringing in Shabbat, today is also Tu B'Av, the 15th of the month of Av, where we take a break from all of the solemnity and mourning of Tisha B'Av, and we celebrate the love in our lives and the love in our communities. Tu B'Av is a festival of love, a celebration of love. And so we're going to sing Dodi Li, these words from the Song of Songs. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. We're going to sing a tune by Batya Levine. If this is new to you, we'll repeat it a bunch. Feel free to just jump in and try it or to listen for a little while. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's so joyful. Let's all repeat that since it's new to us. Ani lidodi, vidodi li. Ani lidodi, vidodi li. Now here comes the second part. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Now let's put it all together. Ani lidodi, vidodi li. Ani lidodi, vidodi li. Ani lidodi, vidodi li. Ani lidodi, vidodi li. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Haroeh bashoshanim, bashoshanim, haroeh. Now here comes a little nigun interlude. Yai da da dum ba yai yai da 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 yum ba da dum ba yai yai da da dum yai da And let's keep singing in Shabbat with Yedid Nefesh, which is also a song about love and connection and all the ways that we find love, even when we are reaching and reaching. Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Mishochav El Ratzonach, Mishochav Yedai El Ratzonach, Yarutzav Nefesh of Harachaman, Meshuchavtach El Ratzonach, Meshuchavtach Yadai El Ratzonach. It's been so sweet this summer to sing some new tunes with all of you. One of my favorite things to do, learn and share new tunes. So let's continue with this amazing, joyful Or Zarua by Tandu that we have been singing a few times this summer. And I hope that you love it as much as I do. This one feels especially appropriate for a joyful day like Tu B'Av. Up our voices and our souls, we're ready to light our Shabbat candles, with many thanks to Andy and Judy who will be lighting our candles for us tonight. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu Let's continue welcoming in the presence of Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. We'll sing our campfire tune by Joey Weissenberg called Lincoln's Nigun. We rise in body or in spirit for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba Be'amad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, v'miru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam ulal me'al maya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitrumam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei Kodesha Brichu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nachemata Damiran be'alma v'imeru Amen. Join me in our call and response Baruch Hu. And then we'll flow right into the Shema. And then if you are still standing, you may be seated for the Ve'ahavta. So here's our call and response, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We sing together our call and response, Mi Chamocha, our song of freedom, our song of redemption, our song of liberation. We'll start with our wordless nigun and then go into the words Mi Chamocha. And feel free to join me on either the call or the response or harmonize at home. Ya And as the sun starts to set, and we're perhaps getting a little bit tired from our long week and our long day, we sing these words of Hashkivenu, praying that we may lie down tonight to true, restful, restorative peace, and that we may wake again in the morning to life, that we may be sheltered by a sukkah of peace, sheltered not only for ourselves, but for our loved ones, for our communities, for the entire world. Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Elishaylo, v'hamidenu Malkeinu Elechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Elishaylo, v'hamidenu Malkeinu Elechayim. Ushmor tzidkenu, uvoenu, l'chaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Elechayim, v'hamidenu Malkeinu Elechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Elishaylo, v'hamidenu Malkeinu Elechayim.
Seems like you can't look at words and then we're on the screen.
We move into our silent Amidah. We'll start together and we'll say our first few blessings together as a community. And then we'll have some sacred moments for silent prayer before we come back together. Accompanied by these beautiful photos compiled by Dan Lieber. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מחכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'il HaKadosh. We come back together and move into our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. Tonight, we are holding in our hearts Leslie Walters, Robert Arnall, and Carol Zimmerman. If you are praying for healing for a friend, a loved one, anyone whose name you want to share, I invite you to share their name in the chat on Zoom, in the comments on Facebook or on YouTube. And if anyone wants to watch the other platforms for comments and share them here, that would be welcome as well, and I can read them out loud. Joe Scholl, Sarah Egan, Susan Lane, Beth, and please feel free to continue sharing names as we sing our Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limoitenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We continue with our prayer for peace using another tune by Batya Levine. Oh, say shalom, shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom. As we let those unresolved notes hang in the air, we make this commitment to peace and justice dwell in our heart with the words of the Aleinu, our call and response version. V'hashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, v'hashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, v'namar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. In a few minutes, we'll move into our concluding prayers, but first, let's do a little reflection on our Torah Parsha of the week, little Torah reflection. So this week I've been thinking a lot about how our inner mental life creates our reality, and this is a major theme of this week's Parsha, Ve'et Chanan. So one of the notable events that happens in Va'et Chanan is that we receive the text of the Shema and the Ve'ahavta, and we witness a second repetition of the Ten Commandments, with one notable difference. So our first iteration of the Ten Commandments in Exodus, we get Lo Tachmod as one of our commandments, often translated as you shall not covet. But in the second repetition of the Ten Commandments, we get an additional flavor of don't covet. Lo titave, which is often translated as don't crave. So on the surface, coveting and craving seem very similar. Let's pause for a moment and think about the different connotations of covet versus crave. What do those imply to you? What do they bring to mind? And if anyone has connotations of covet or crave that you would like to share, now is a great time to share in the comments. What comes to mind when you hear covet versus crave? What do you think? And I will read these out loud for folks that are watching on other platforms as well. Covet is for a thing that somebody else has. Covet is a desire for something that someone else has. Crave is a deep desire, regardless of who has it. Interesting. So we're seeing an intensification of desire with crave versus covet. That's a really interesting flavor. Covet equals obsession. Oh, interesting. Covet is associated with jealousy. Crave is emotional self-desire. Interesting. In English, crave is appetite. Oh, interesting. Love the linguistics coming in. And of course, the interesting thing is that when we translate to English, we'll have a whole other set of associations. So even the translation choices can reveal something interesting about the translator's associations with each word. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat in case other ideas come in. But while we're looking for other ideas, I'm going to share what our rabbinic tradition has to say, because of course the rabbis have something to say about something so juicy. We covet for Shir Tikvah community. Oh, thank you, Dan. So there's an interesting midrash in a collection called Midrash Hagadol, which suggests that titave means believe with the heart, whereas tachmod means b'ma'aseh, with deeds. So this collection of midrash is suggesting that titave, craving, is more about this heart-deep sensation, which many of you also had an association of craving with intensification, whereas tachmod is more associated with action. So the midrash is drawing a distinction between the emotion, the obsession of wanting something deeply versus tachmod, doing something with that emotion. And then Maimonides, also known as Rambam, also falls into this camp. So he says, and this is his quote, "This means that once you let yourself covet in your mind or in your heart a desirable object that you have seen in your friend's house, you have violated the precept of lo titave. If your passion for the object becomes so intense that you take steps to acquire possession of it, pressing him to sell it in exchange for something better or more valuable, once you have bought out the unwilling purchaser, you have violated both prohibitions." So Rambam is teaching us how our inner world, this soul deep obsession, this craving that many of you highlighted, can lead to actions that have outward impacts on our community and on the world. So I think this rabbinic distinction is so powerful, that our inner world, the way we think about life, if we allow this soul deep passion and craving and jealousy to take hold, that can really impact how we act and show up in the world. And as always, the rabbis come in with really incredible food for thought. So I've been thinking particularly about this because in chaplaincy over the summer, I've had the opportunity to meet so many amazing people going through really difficult times in their lives. And one theme I've heard over and over again is this sense of deep shame, self-flagellation, dwelling in perceived mistakes of the past, and regret for how they have impacted one's life in the present. And I've had the great joy and opportunity of praying with people for self-compassion and for what it would look like to ask for God to help us reframe our thoughts, to help us lay down the burden of shame that we're carrying, to help us love ourselves a little more deeply. And it's been an absolutely holy thing to see this prayer with people crack open an idea in people's minds and hearts about how if we change the way we think about ourselves, we can really change the way we show up in the world. And I think the rabbis are highlighting this for us. The way we think has a huge impact on who we are and the way we show up. And I think this is also a good lesson for us on Tu B'Av, where we're reflecting on celebrating the love in our lives. As we started out our service singing, Dodi li, ani ledodi v'dodi li, I am my beloved's and my beloved is mine. That also applies to ourselves, that we can have self-love and self-compassion. We can transform our inner voices and transform our lives. I want to highlight one more comment. Yes, so in the comments we have, does that mean that thou shalt not covet means just don't act on your cravings? I think that's part of what Rambam is saying, absolutely, that before we even get to this point of acting on our cravings, we should be aware, according to Rambam, of the patterns that have been grooved into our brains, of patterns for jealousy, patterns for comparison. And another comment, if I crave chocolate, is it only a problem if I want someone else's? Well, I think Rambam would probably say, as long as you are not having the soul deep obsession for chocolate that is so destructive that it leads you to go rob a chocolate store, then I think you're fine. Absolutely, great question. So I invite us to marinate on these questions and keep thinking about them. And as always, if you have other ideas during the week, feel free to send me an email. Would love to keep hearing people's thoughts about this. Such rich fodder for discussion. But for now, we'll close out our discussion and we will move on to our Mourner's Kaddish. So folks on Zoom, on YouTube, on Facebook, on any of our platforms, if you are mourning someone tonight, this week, if you're observing a yard site, if you're feeling particularly close to someone who you're missing, I invite you to share their name. And if folks notice any names on our other platforms, feel free to share them here as well, and I'll speak them out loud. Amy's dad, Alan Travis. Dan's father-in-law, Jim Medford. We'll give folks a few more moments to share. All the victims of senseless violence. If you're still typing, I invite you to keep sharing those names as we say our Mourner's Kaddish together. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei Rabbah, be'amad ivrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all who dwell on earth, and we say, Amen. Let's sing ourselves out with Shalom Aleichem before we make Kiddush together. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yairai, 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 Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Let's raise a glass of wine or grape juice for our Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu. Zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrai kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'achata, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon inchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat lechaim. Shabbat Shalom, and sending a special wish for a joyful camping trip next week for our campers. And let's say our motzi together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. A huge thank you to Dan Lieber for putting these slides and photos together and leading our Zoom. and hope all of the folks on the camping trip have a great time and enjoy that French toast with I Wish I Could Join You. And it was so wonderful to see everyone here today. And once the live stream is stopped, if folks want to hang out and just talk a little bit, feel free to do